Cindy, what happened here today?
Yeah, this afternoon, just after 1:30 p.m., Mesa police officers and members of the U.S. Marshals Arizona Wanted Task Force were looking for an armed robbery suspect in the area of 1233 North Mesa Drive. They located that suspect, who we know is an adult man in his early 20s, walking southbound in front of 1230 North Mesa Drive. They contacted him there, and what we know so far is that the suspect had a handgun and an officer-involved shooting occurred. Life-saving measures were given on scene, and then Mesa Fire and Medical took over, and the suspect was ultimately transported to the hospital, but he was pronounced deceased just after 2 o'clock p.m. As you can see behind you, it's still a very active scene. Officers are just now starting their investigation. I do suspect that Mesa Drive will be shut down for several hours while they gather evidence and speak to witnesses. And I'm open to any questions that you may have. Just understand that it is very preliminary, and we are hoping to gather more details as we look at body cam and other surveillance video in the area. But I will try my best to answer whatever you have right now.
Yeah, we had heard that there was a potential robbery that happened at the Dollar General around 9:30 this morning. Is that being looked into as part of the case or something separate?
Yes, we do believe that one is related to this suspect.
What I also heard about a possible Walgreens robbery last night. Is that also part of it?
Same thing, yes. And I'm hoping with that information, and we do have an additional armed robbery that we have suspected him of doing, that I'll be able to confirm that with you in a later statement, hopefully tonight or even in the morning, with those locations and times.
So possibly three then?
Yes,
locations? Okay.
correct.
And when it comes to the shooting, how many shots was it? Mesa police officers who shot the verified?
So right now we know that one officer shot. I don't know how many rounds they shot or from what weapon, whether it's a handgun or rifle or anything like that. We are hoping to find that out, like I said, by looking at body-worn camera and other surveillance video, and also speaking to that officer, which we haven't done yet. But right now I can confirm one officer did shoot.
Do we know?
From Mesa, but acting under the umbrella of the U.S. Marshals Task Force.
There was news that ATF was coming down. Can you tell us why they would come down?
I don't have that information. I don't know why they would come down other than it was an officer-involved shooting, and sometimes they do get involved in things like that, especially because our suspect did have a weapon, so that might be a piece that they're coming to investigate.
Is there any indication that the suspect lived here in this apartment complex that's been taped off?
We suspect that, but I can't confirm that right now.
Were you looking for any additional people? We heard from a witness who lives in the Glen at Mesa saying that they heard people or officers, law enforcement asking people to come out of an apartment.
Correct. So what they heard was us issuing a search warrant on an apartment in the complex, and what they typically do is call out anybody inside before they make entry.
And do you believe it was this suspect's home?
I believe that apartment is somehow related to that suspect. I don't know if he actually has that apartment under his name or not. I hope that answers that question.
Was he hiding in there, or like where did the actual shooting take place? Was he in the parking lot or inside an apartment and then
No.
came out?
Correct. Yeah, the shooting actually took place. If you look behind you guys, there are some vehicles with some lights. It actually took place right on the sidewalk in front of 1230 North Mesa Drive.
Anybody injured during the armed robberies?
No injuries reported.
Anything like money stolen or any items?
I don't have those details, but I'm assuming with the title of armed robbery, he probably did get away with some merchandise or some money. Hoping to have those details for you in a later statement, and I definitely will try to get that to you.
Do we know if the suspect pointed his gun at officers before the shooting?
We are hoping to learn that. I don't know exactly. I do know that he did have a handgun in his hand, even when officers approached him to take him into custody after the shooting. So confirmed that he did have a handgun and it is on scene.
I know you all have been actively trying to find a suspect of an armed robbery at a toy store here in Mesa that happened, several weeks ago. Any indication at this time that this is the same suspect?
Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, because that kind of occurred in the same area. I'm sure we'll look into that, but right now there's nothing to indicate that this is the same person.
Is the officer who fired his weapon, will he be placed on administrative leave, or what's the protocol when for an officer involved shooting?
Correct. Yeah, they are placed on a 3-day administrative leave, and they do have to speak to like a counselor or a psychologist prior to coming back that would clear them, that they're like safe or mentally stable to come back to work, if that makes sense. Okay.
Do we know which part of the body the suspect was shot in? Was it his chest, arm?
I don't have that yet. Yes, he was pronounced deceased and just after 2 o'clock. I believe the exact time was 2:07 p.m. and that was at the hospital.
What's your message for folks who are living inside the apartment right now?
They're safe right now. We do have the only person we were looking for, and there is no further threat to anybody in the apartment complex related to this series of armed robberies or the suspect being outstanding. We have everyone involved.
Can you provide a time on when the robberies happened last night or just last night?
I can. I have it in my notes, and I will tell you right when we get done with this.
And then you guys, after the robbery today, did you just get a call that somebody matching the description was walking in the area, and that's how you kind of found him after, you know, these incidents?
I'm still trying to gather that information from my end.
Okay.
My understanding is that we had an investigative lead, which brought us to this area, and then they solidified confirmation of who that suspect is, and that's when they contacted him, when he was walking.
And was the suspect then, when he was walking, was when the contact was made? Were officers
Correct.
following him, or?
Correct. So they were in the area. Like I said, at 1233 North Mesa Drive, it's just on the east side over here. Officers were in the area looking for him. They saw him walking. He actually crossed Mesa Drive, and they contacted him going southbound. So they did know who they were looking for, and they did recognize that person as the suspect.
Do you know if all three possible robberies were within like 24 hours? 'Cause I
They
know-
were.
Okay.
Yes, they were.
Does this person have a history with doing behavior like this?
I don't know. I don't have his name offhand, but that is definitely something that we look into, especially when someone's involved in any crime that we have pieced together. We will look at their history, and hopefully I'll be able to provide that to you soon.
For folks who drive down this road quite a bit, it's a well-traveled road in the city, what can they expect, you know, things to be cleaned up here?
Right. Road closures for sure. The command van is a huge vehicle that is blocking a whole lane of traffic because there are so many people who live in the area. I'm assuming officers are going to be out here for hours just contacting anybody. And speaking of that, since I'm on air with you guys, if anybody heard or saw anything, we welcome it. Please call in and tell us what you saw so we can kind of piece everything together in addition to body cam. We like to hear what other people saw on the street too, so we do welcome that.
And again, you know, we know that a school bus stop is right next to that apartment complex. Those kiddos had to be rerouted today.
Oh, okay. I did not know that, but that's good news for sure.
Is there anything else, Brandy, you would like to add or say?
No, not at this time.
Anything else, you guys?
You said early 20s, or?
Yes, early 20s.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
You don't have an exact age yet?
I don't have an exact age. I would specify 2021, somewhere in there. That's why I'm going with early 20s, but I can get that for you when we identify him and confirm that. Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.